All right, then we've still got lots more, of course, to discuss with Busi. So before we do, though, I just want to touch base with Gareth so that we can have a sit down with Busi. So all relaxed with all the dishes that, of course, we have planned for us. So, Gareth, what do you have for us, just in terms of what the chef has in store for us?
Yeah, I didn't run away from the couch because I'm bored. I ran away before the food vanishes as well. So I thought I'd get some now before it vanishes. Chef Jabu, chef from Ravioli Restaurant in Maboneng. Chef, good to have you with us. I'm sure it's a very important call. Do you want to take that?
No.
No? That okay? Okay. Okay. So we spoke earlier about the dishes on the table, yes. But I wanted to come up and see pizza-wise. Pizza for breakfast, great idea. You know your audience. Tell me what's on here.
This is our peri-peri pizza.
Peri-peri pizza,
yes.
Nice.
This is pizza. It is topped with feta, some caramelized onion, mozzarella, that's cheese, and with our spiced chicken.
So if someone's not a peri-peri fan, is this going to be a bit too hot for Tumelo?
We take out the peri-peri side of this.
Great. And then I saw on the table there, we had a couple of raviolis. Just remind me, what are these two I'm looking at? Because these are a little bit different. Where's my camera? There we go.
Okay, this is
that one there.
Chicken ravioli.
Chicken ravioli.
Yeah.
How easy is it to make a ravioli? Very quickly. Someone goes, if Chef Jabu can do it, I can do it. How easy is this to make?
It's so easy. You take your flour, your pizza, your dough, you stuff it with chicken, and then you cook the stuffed chicken and the dough, and then after that you put it inside the sauce, and then you top it up with our cherry tomato. First of all, you dip it inside the balsamic vinegar, and then you put it on the top of the
that sauce. Is it a tomato-based sauce?
It's our tomato-based sauce.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Chef, thank you very much. This food looks wonderful. We're going to get more of it later because I know that Tum's going to be like, Gareth, where's the pizza? I'm going to get it onto the table
You will
a little bit
really
later.
enjoy it.
I know we're going to enjoy it. It looks beautiful. Chef Jabu, thank you very much indeed. You stay right here. We're going to grab some more of that a little bit later. Tum's a ravioli restaurant.
I
knew the team would get us carbs for breakfast one day. This Greek yogurt.
We had to make sure that,
you don't get this body from eating Greek yogurt.
No, you don't.
From breakfast.
No, you don't. What's your favorite all-time meal, would you say? Or, I don't know, lunch or something that you like to prepare? Because you're also a mummy, so I'm sure you have to also be a bit creative there in the kitchen.
I love everything that you can do with a potato. I'm like the potato maestro. You know, I'll bake them, I'll grill them, I'll roast them, I'll mash them.
Yes, you'll fry them.
I might even eat them raw one day.
Really?
No.
No, never.
Wow. So let's talk about your career then, because most of us know you through your talent, which is music. So when did you know that you were gifted? Because I think when you broke out into the scene, you were so unique, you were so different in how you delivered your music, but also your message through music.
Yeah.
When did you think you realized that I have a talent that I need to nurture here?
You know, I've always been someone who enjoys using my words. Fortunately, I was a child who was encouraged to read, and so I became a child who likes to write. And then at some point, you become a child who likes to speak as well. So that's those are my favorite activities in school. But also dancing. I enjoy dancing. I enjoy seeing people dance. I enjoy, and that's where, you know, my career has taken me. Why it's taken me here,
right? Where
it's a place where I can actually, you mean I can use my words and I can dance while I'm doing, wow.
Yeah, now that's a combo.
I was like, wow, somebody's looking out for me. So I think it's the reason also that I'm where I'm at now, not only with the music, but with the new show, Dance Nation, being able to present shows that represent the things that I love and also the things that I feel like represent South African youth. For example, music, dance, lyricism, you know, spitting, so to speak, is like so us as South Africans. It's where Kwaito comes from. It's where Amapiano is rooted, and I enjoy being able to be a part of any culture, any movement that brings that together. And I really thought I'd be an accountant or a teacher or a lawyer. Too much reading in law, too many numbers in accounting. So
welcome to our world.
Music just made my life a little bit simpler. It's not easy though, it's very hard work, but I definitely feel like I was placed in an environment where I would be able to be my best self.
Right.
What I'm going to do, because I can smell the pizza all the way over here. Chef
just
Jabu,
want the food.
can I ask you a favor? Could you bring the 2 pizzas over for us? Busiswa is like, we stop asking questions. Where's the pizza?
My son
Bring
goes,
that food.
pizza,
Yeah, of course he does. Let's make some
every
space for
time,
the
even
chef.
if he sees it on the screen.
Yeah.
And
He
it's
wants pizza.
upsetting because I'm like, oh, geez, now I gotta make another one. And then I say, no, I don't have money. I use card. Tell
Thank
the
you,
scooter.
Thank you very much indeed.
Ravioli and
I have to
the
come
pizza.
to Ravioli
No,
with
that's
the
true.
kid, right?
You have to go all the way to Ravioli
believe
restaurant in
it.
Maboneng. You were talking about so reading, then writing, then speaking. Wasn't there a poetry side
Yes.
to you as well? I've always been curious because not all songwriters and artists were poets. How easy a jump was that? How different does the mindset come to poetry
I think-
and songwriting?
Yeah, I think reading to writing is an organic adjustment, right? Most people write, and then when you write, you start looking at your writings, and then you decide, is this an essay you want to structure now?
Yeah.
Is it an article? Is it a poem? Is it? And then I found my space in poetry because I met a lot of people who are like me, and then I
Right.
started organizing it, and then I met rap. Obviously, you know, when you meet rap, you're like, oh my goodness,
Right.
this is what it is. So that's where I decided, okay, what I do is poetry. It's not so much rap because, you know, the rhythm is not as important, but all the other elements that you find in poetry, you know, metaphors, similes,
Yeah.
rhythm, rhyme, onomatopoeia, you know, all of those things are elements of poems, and I actually discovered that that's what I'm writing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing. So that's where I'd like to focus. I also met a lot of people in the activism space in Durban who are also poets a lot of the time, and I really resonated with that, and that's why I decided to focus for like a number of years.
Yeah.
Until somebody brought me a house beat and said,
You can actually be on this.
come try something. Let me show you something you can try.
Right.
And I was like, okay, let me try. And it was like, oh, okay, I think I have a nice voice. What?
I love your voice.
Let's do this. Let's
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
When you got into music, one thing I learned from your reality show is that there's also the business side of music, which is challenging, having to
Yeah.
manage your team, having to make sure that, you know, you have everything in order in terms of, you know, your documents, your important things that your lawyer, I'm sure, can handle, your accountant. How difficult was it for you navigating both the art and the business side of music?
I started in the music industry in 2012.
Yeah.
And I would say I started to feel like I have a business understanding in 2018. So that's longer than it takes to get a degree, you know. But there isn't really a degree that teaches you the practical side of the music business in South Africa. There's music, you know, there are music degrees and all of that, but the practical side of the music business in South Africa is still very much something that you only learn in practice. So,
Yeah.
you know, for me, I'm still learning. Just as I felt like I could become an independent artist, and then I started doing international deals, and then now it became a different thing altogether. It's like, oh, geez, now I need to learn what's the difference between LLC and LLP, and, you know, the music business in different countries is also different.
Right.
And then it's also divided into regions. So as much as I'm still learning, I'm grateful that, you know, I've had people around me who have been willing to kind of take me through it.
Yeah.
And you have to find those people, because not everybody is in the, it's a dog-eat-dog world.
dog-eat-dog world.
Not everyone you meet wants to teach you.
Yes.
I'm so glad you
know?
asked that. Just please grab some pizza while we ask this question, because I wanted to ask about the university thing as well. As Busiswa grabs a slice of that pizza, I hope it's not too hot for you, by the way. Earlier in your life, you spoke about a degree, wanting to do that, and teaching. If I have it right, you actually taught part-time, but you taught in the arts. Because
Yeah, so
there was,
I tutored.
and not to be insensitive, but there was no money to go to university. So how important is the teaching thing to you, to give back, to get the youngsters through, etc.?
Yeah. So I went to university. I think I was financially excluded in third year.
So you got
And-
all that way.
But when I tutored workshops for poetry with Art for Humanity, it was because the only thing I knew that had gotten me through was the fact that I read, I write, I express myself. And it got me through a lot of things. Like all the activities I was doing was, you know, orals and debating and things like that. So even through school, it just took me through a very, very hard time. You know, I couldn't, if I can't have a lunchbox, but I could still go to the debating team and have a stimulating experience, you know? So all I knew was that it helped me through something.
Right.
If there's another kid that I can teach how to do the same, then that'll be great. And if there's another child who's going to grow up to be a confident adult because of that lesson of how to express yourself and speak up for yourself, in any field, it doesn't mean you have to be a poet to do poetry workshops, but in any field where you get to, any setting, any environment, any industry, if you're able to speak up for yourself, you're more likely to be successful.
It's all about expression, isn't it?
Than if you know, closed mouths don't get fed.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is so
It
true.
was just important to impart that.
I'm going to just ask Chef Jabu just for the last time, so we can just bring the last 2 meals in. Chef Jabu, just bring us 2 more of those bowls there just before we start saying goodbye to you. There is so much food here, by the way. I know our crew are hovering. By the way, you can't see them. They're just behind cameras.
There's
There's a lot of food here. So Busiswa, please enjoy. Thank you, Chef Jabu. What's this one again?
This is chicken ravioli.
Chicken ravioli. We'll
Yes.
pop that one there. And this one is the?
It's still chicken
Oh, it wasn't the
ravioli.
same thing.
Let me bring the morojo.
Oh, yes.
Morojo.
Yes, you can. You heard that reaction. You've got to bring that in. You know what? I think that one needs to go right
Where's
here.
the tip away when you need it?
Yeah, that one needs to go
Exactly.
right there. Chef Jabu, thank you.
As
This
you can know, ravioli is an Italian restaurant with an African taste.
with an African taste.
Yes,
Beautiful.
that's why we have got morojo
Morojo as
on our
well,
menu.
alongside the chicken ravioli.
Yes.
I don't know where to begin. Chef Jabu, thank you very, very much indeed. In case you're hungry already and you're looking for plans for the weekend, you can always head out to go
Absolutely.
and see Chef Jabu. Ask for him by name. Tell him that Tumza and Gareth sent him. Go look
We'll cover the bill.
We'll cover the... I'm sorry, we'll what? No. Tumza will cover the bill. Look, ask for Chef Jabu, ravioli restaurant in Maboneng. This is the kind of food you can see. Chef, thank you very much for coming in as well. I'm curious, so off the back of COVID, and just tell us how that ravioli is, by the way.
Okay.
We've spoken to so many artists that have said either COVID-19 was a good thing for their careers. We had a young artist a couple of weeks ago who got famous because of TikTok. His name slips my mind. He wasn't a musician before. He became one during COVID. How difficult was that for you? Because you were incredibly successful before, you are, before COVID. What was that like? And now masks are gone.
Yeah, it was a very weird time because I had previously been traveling so vigorously, and then the world said, "Wait, sit down, sit down." My most interesting thing for me was spending that much time with my son. I think at some point he thought I was unemployed because I was just at home far more than usual. I don't think that's something I can ever get like in those early years later, so I'm grateful for that. But I won't lie, I mean, for an artist who had been so with such a busy schedule and then the schedule completely dies, I had to return a lot of money, and
you had to return a lot of money because
I was
that were
fully booked for probably the whole of 2020 when March 21st 2020 happened. So it was insane. I've never been so scared in my life because not only did I have a team, I have a family, and at first we thought it was going to be 3 weeks only,
right?
And then we're like, okay, no, we'll stabilize. And then it carried on and carried on. It just destabilized in a way that I felt like, okay, you have to get back to understanding who you are. For me, that meant going back into the studio. I recorded an album in that period, which has done amazingly. It's reached gold now.
Congratulations.
And independently as well. So I was just in the studio, just getting the necessary people only. And
why independently? What did the record labels become a problem during COVID? Because you didn't know what to do. They didn't know
I
what
had
to do.
left before. I'd left before, but I also know that a lot of record labels also didn't look out for their people. People were just left to
fend for themselves.
See what you can do, make it work. It is what it is. But I was already independent, and I was really challenged to create, make something happen. Streaming has been a blessing. The digitization of everything has been an incredible blessing for artists, because imagine if we were trying to sell CDs at music shops for income, you know, because concerts are gone.
Right.
But the fact that streaming and the rise of TikTok, the fact that we can still reach our fans through Instagram. I started to also create that reality show because I had time. So, you know, I was like, okay, it's a good time for my fans to get to know me. This reality show is perfectly timed.
Right.
And the bottom line was that it was like, now you got to create. Now you got to get back to that place, a place that I know so well, where you have absolutely nothing else but your words.
So what's next up for you with all the lessons learned due to COVID, the experiences with being an independent artist, a businesswoman, opportunities not only locally but also internationally? What lies next then for Busiswa?
So I have been very fortunate to be getting a lot of international kind of like call-outs, you know. I'm enjoying that. I'm collaborating with artists from as many countries as possible. I mean, all across the African continent. I think I've done one collab in every African country at least.
Good.
Getting number ones in different countries, which is a nice experience, where a song is like, you know, number one in the UK, but it's not playing at all in South Africa. So that's something I'm exploring. Now that COVID is gone, no, I'm kidding. Now that travel restrictions...
COVID's gone? When did COVID go?
Now that travel restrictions are gone, I'm looking forward to actually connecting with different audiences. I know I have a following in Brazil. I want to do that. I want to go and explore that. I want to meet it there. I know I have a big following in Nigeria. I want to explore that, Australia. So I want to go into these different countries and meet different artists. But for my local visibility, I'm definitely excited about shows like Dance Nation on MTV, because it's going to showcase new and fresh dance culture in South Africa. All the different genres are going to be represented. And when it plays, you know, I'm excited to be kind of like the person who's introducing, you know, whoever might not be aware of what is happening in South Africa, because we have an incredible dance culture that is emerging every 3-5 years or so. So it's so beautiful to be able to showcase it on that platform. And I'm very excited for people to see what young South Africans are doing once again.
Once again, we're going to be able to see you perform live as well here on eNCA. We're going to go to a break in a moment. We're going to try and eat as much food as we can. But before we do that, because you're going to get all mic'd up and ready to go, what song do you have for us when we come back from the break? What are you doing for us?
I have one of the first singles out of Majesty Music, which is my label. It's called Tete, and it's with a fellow artist at Majesty Music, rapper and producer. His name is Zulu Money.